Hello and what is up, my friends? It's Thunder Bob here, and we are continuing our journey tonight in the Diablo IV beta. I am fast approaching the level cap, and I feel like I am making good progress through the main story. I haven't seen any guides or anything, so I'm not completely sure, but I feel like I'm getting close to the end of the Act 1 story. In the last video, I had no commentary. I was just kind of killing a bunch of the side quests I had built up. This video is primarily going to be the main story, though I do want to just knock out this side quest, this Enter the Black Asylum, just because it sounds cool. So we're going to do the Black Asylum, and then I'm going to continue. 2 videos ago, I was doing this pilgrimage quest, and the game crashed, and there was an hour-long queue to get back in. So I am going to pick that quest up where I left off. So that's kind of why there was that cut in the video from doing that main quest to this video. To show you kind of where I'm at in the game, I've picked up a couple of legendaries, and actually I had a legendary weapon, but doing some theory crafting here, my legendary weapon was a staff, and using an offhand and a melee hand gave me a lot more attack power, and I wasn't really using the legendary effect anyways. I do have this legendary. I'll just go through the items here. That's given me Hydra, and maybe first I'll show you actually the skills I'm using. I'm going for a Hydra Orb build. That was always a fun build in Diablo 2. I don't know if it's the best build here, but I'm having a ton of fun with it. So Frost Bolt here is basically to generate mana when I'm out. So I've got 3 points. I'm maxing this now. I've got the the upgrade here, the enhancement, and then I've got this one which generates mana when you hit frozen or chilled enemies. And things are almost completely chilled because of I'm spamming Frostbolt and Frozen Orb. And then I've got Frozen Orb, which I'm really enjoying the skill. It's doing a ton of damage. If you can aim where both the shards and the explosion hit enemies, it's crazy damage. It's a lot of fun. And then I've got the Enhanced Frozen Orb. This thing, when I cast, it almost always triggers once and sometimes twice, making that orb do even more damage. And then I just got this one where it will make enemies vulnerable. We'll keep going down here. I've got some of these from plus skills from items. Flame Shield. Initially, I thought this was terrible. It was 2 seconds. It does almost no damage. But then I read at the bottom, well, Flame Shield's active, you're immune. And this is basically just a 2-second immunity. So, if I get bombarded, that's really all I'm using this for. And I'm getting it from plus skills right now. I may pump in skills points later, but I don't have a lot right now. I've got Teleport also, which I'm using as an escape skill. It also does a little bit of damage. And these are free. They're just based on cooldowns. So it's I'm using most of my mana. I run into guys. I drop 2 Hydras. I start spamming Frozen Orb. And then these are kind of free, so they're not impacting my mana at all. I put a point into Frost Nova, and it's 2 skills down here. So Frost Nova cooldown is reduced, and then you get the additional vulnerable for 8 seconds on bosses from Frost Nova, which is pretty great. And then down to Hydra. I've got Hydra maxed out, and I've got +2 to Hydra right now. And I've got the extra skill here, so my Hydra has 4 heads. So I can have 2 Hydras right now with 4 heads apiece. And then after you critically strike, your Hydras gain 30% critical strike for 3 seconds. So just a ton of damage coming out of them, and then when I crit, they do extra damage. This is from items, which I'm not really using, say the Lightning Spear. I could swap those out, but I feel like I've got enough mana users that it's not, I've got enough damage coming out of those two that it's not really that useful, and I like the escape and the extra immunity. Ice Blades was okay. I feel like it wasn't doing enough damage to really warrant it. I might play around with it more later, though. I didn't put anything over here yet. I played around a little bit with these skills. I just feel like there's too much mana cost for what you're getting out of them for the most part. And the damage that they're doing just didn't seem as crazy as what I'm getting out of a Frozen Orb and Hydra anyway. So I really have been neglecting these. One more point and I'll be able to pick some skills down here. And I don't think you can even get this far in the beta unless I'm mistaken. But I do have a legendary that impacts the Shatter, and we'll look at that. This gives me Hydra and Ice Blades, which I'm not using the Ice Blades anymore. I was previously. And then I got this legendary, which after Immobilized wears off, enemies are slowed by 28% for 4 seconds. And this is the best. It gives me an additional Hydra, though they last less time. Yeah, I could use better pants for sure. Boots with Flame Shield, Frost Nova, and Teleport. Not bad. And then just these for like the extra damage, 12% basic, some damage over time, core skills, life on kill. Just this is the highest damaging stuff I've got. I got this legendary ring here. I don't really have any thorns damage, but it was just the best ring I found so far. Yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. And we're going to go ahead and get started. The legendary weapon I had was the one that impacts Shatter. I can't remember, it was like a percentage increase on Shatter when you met certain criteria. I can't remember if it was on frozen enemies or something. But I don't think I'm going to get deep enough for Shatter anyways, so... And I'm really enjoying the game so far. Like, I've put more time in it. Probably by the time the beta weekend is over, I'll have put probably about 10 hours into the game. And you can kind of see how much damage like these skills are doing. Like, it's not bad. But watch when I start dropping the Hydras into the rotation too. Like, Hydra is by far, with those double Hydras, my biggest damage dealer. And it's like, it doesn't cost a lot. Like, you know, for less than 40 mana, these things are doing 163 damage times 4 heads for 10 seconds. I don't have the math off the top of my head, but what's that? 163 for 10 seconds, 1600 damage, and then 4 heads. What's that, about 6,000 damage, and then I've got 2 Hydras, so 12,000 damage for 40 mana. That's not bad for the level I'm at, for sure. Oh, I did also just unlock something. I didn't even know this was a thing, but you apparently get to pick an enhancement, or enchantment, as a sorceress. And basically, all of these skills, if you look at the bottom, they have a different effect. Like, I'm using this one. So whenever I cast a non-basic skill, I have a 20% chance to launch a frozen orb. The Hydra one is pretty cool. After spending 300 mana, you get a 5-headed Hydra, which, I was doing the math on it. It would be like every, like, what's that, every 30 Hydras I would get, no, every 15 Hydras I would get a free Hydra. And it just didn't seem all that useful. But I literally just got that at the end of the last video, so I haven't really played around with it. But like, seeing those double frozen orbs come out sometimes, that's pretty dang cool. What I don't know is, will it trigger on my Hydra? Because it's not like a direct attack necessarily. And one thing I've definitely noticed is all of these dungeons kind of have the same mechanics to them. You find a big door that you can't interact with, and then you've got to go down a side passage, kill 2 bosses, or activate 2 somethings, and then you can go in the main door. It's like, I feel like there could be a little bit more variety in these dungeons. I love these shrines. So much damage. You just gotta kind of time it right. Here's a thing. Rare ring. You definitely get a lot of rares. Oh, how did I miss that one? Got a challenge. I just haven't had time to really dig into that challenge menu, and I don't really love that, like, live service, like, achievement chasing, like, I don't know, there's, like, so many things to click through. Diablo Immortal had something kind of similar. It triggered off of my Hydra there, so that's very cool. Look, it did there again. So, I have a 20% chance when I cast anything to trigger an extra Hydra, or an extra frozen orb, like right there. So 1 in 5 of my frozen orbs trigger an extra frozen orb. That's very fun. And also, if you think about it, like well, I guess it doesn't... It doesn't trigger on basic, so so my frostbolt will not trigger it. Oh, it's on the other side. I don't know why I came this way. I was looking at teleport, and I think you can probably get the cooldown, because I didn't notice, but at some point I started getting lower cooldown with additional skill points. So it goes from 10.67 to 10.14. This will bring it down by 3, depending on how many enemies you hit with it, which you're not always going to be hitting enemies if you're using it as an escape skill or travel, but so you, assuming you do though. What's that, 10.14? Let's say it's a linear reduction, so what's that, half a second reduction per point. So what's that, 2 more seconds? You get down to like maybe 8 seconds, 765 seconds. And then you got items that will reduce that lower. I think you can probably get the cooldown on teleport down to maybe, 2 or 3 seconds if you focus on it. Kind of guessing here. And then there seems to be a lot of legendaries that have impacts on skills. So like there seems to be a lot of items that are like, okay, maybe your teleport has no cooldown except now it costs mana or something. Like I could see it very likely there's an item like that. Those ones that really impact the skill a lot of times. Like the one that let me have 2 Hydras. The trade-off was that they last for less time. One thing I don't love is the way everything scales with you. I cannot go down this hall. They won't let me. That was weird. I was clicking to go this way. One thing I don't love is that since everything is scaling with you, like as you level, all the enemies level up too, you get this kind of feeling that you're never really getting stronger. Like, picture like you're playing Diablo 2, you're doing Mephisto runs, like maybe you beat him for the very first time, and it was a hard-fought battle, but you win it, and you get some new drops, but you leveled up, and now everything there is higher level, and it's like you're getting stronger, but the enemies are at like a similar level, and I'm guessing maybe at the end game that scaling will be not level based, but you're going to be picking your difficulty, so it's not going to be as noticeable. But like there have been times where I find some new gear and everything's easy, and then like you'll fight those same enemies and suddenly you've gained 2 levels and your gear hasn't changed, and the game's actually harder even though you're fighting the same thing. And I don't know, it's a good and bad thing. It's cool because you can literally go anywhere. Like I think that's the whole point, is you can take the campaign in whatever order you want. You can do the different areas in almost any order. But the byproduct of that is you never really feel like you're getting that much stronger when everything is getting strong with you. Unless you can somehow like break the cycle, like you get strong enough that you're overcoming the level increases, which, as these numbers multiply and you've got, a well put together build, what? It might happen. That's very weird. Some walls I can go through and some I cannot. Ooh. So that achievement for all that gold. I think this is the boss right here. Why is the door sealed? Slay all enemies in the haunted cell block. Is that this entire... Oh. Are you serious? I gotta kill everything in here before this door is opened? I haven't seen that on any submissions to this point. For real? What if I missed, like, one? Like, in Diablo 2, I hated, you know, in the Den of Evil, you miss, like, one enemy. I actually like that they really don't use that mechanic much in the game beyond that. Like, it's always so frustrating to miss, like, a single... Like, that guy just appeared out of nowhere, right? I love the animation for the teleport. Yeah, you're literally like the conduit of lightning. $14 remain. This is some bullshit right here. What? Is that 14 right there? How did that guy get over there? I see, I'm looking at like the mini map. I need to use Frost Nova more. Like in my rotation, I messed around with my skills just before this, so I'm like still kind of figuring out kind of the proper order and when to execute everything. Because like Frost Nova will trigger vulnerability, so I should really start with Frost Nova, and then that'll help trigger some of my other Frost abilities. I don't think I was in range there. I kind of wish the Hydra had something to show you how much time is left. Like, I know at the bottom it says, like, you have 2 out or 1 out or whatever, which is a nice addition. But it'd be cool if there was something like maybe the skill, like, as they were disappearing, you know how, like, cooldown skills do this? If they did something similar, it wasn't a cooldown, but it just showed you, like, you know, your last one, or your first one to disappear when it's going to happen. Okay, so that finished the... Yeah, so I gotta go talk to this dude. One thing I didn't realize, you can, from... You remember Diablo 3, there was always like a crystal you'd click on and it would teleport you out. You don't need to do that. Here you can actually just click leave and it'll teleport you to the beginning of the dungeon. Or you can, like in this case, I gotta go talk to this guy, so I will travel to the city and I'll sell some stuff while I'm there. This will probably be my last session. I'm playing this Saturday evening. The beta ends Sunday, I think, and usually Sundays I spend more with the family. I don't think I'm going to be playing much tomorrow. I'm going to try to finish the story tonight, even if I end up missing some of the side quests. Let's just see if I got anything worth swapping. 8.5% critical strike chance. That's kind of cool. I hate that it always stops. Yeah, this has got that fire and cold damage, which is helping. But 2.5% crit chance. That's a pretty high crit chance percent. I'm really just looking at the rares at this stage. 2% to all damage. And I'm not really using that legendary power. So it'd give me 4.5% to fire. Give me more fire damage versus... It's not a big enough difference. Mana cost reduction. I like that extra evade charge, so I don't evade enough. Ice armor, teleport. Assistance. Ice armor. That one gives you a barrier for 6 seconds, absorbing 30% of your basic life. So it would give me 114 armor for 6 seconds versus making me invulnerable for 2 and dealing some damage. But you also get, while ice armor is active, 10% of your damage is added to your barrier. If that barrier lasted longer, I think I would use it more. Maybe there's a way to augment it, but it just doesn't last enough. I might respec when I finally get to max level, but I'm kind of liking this build so far. I was looking at this. You deal 3% increased damage to chilled enemies and 6 to frozen. So is that all damage or just cold damage? The way I read it makes it look like all damage. So if you put 3 points here, that's a straight up 18% damage to frozen. That's not bad. Alright, that's what I was looking at. I like the 3 things my current boots give me. It's interesting. I still don't quite know what all plus skills can drop on. Like, I've seen it on boots, I've seen it on helms. I don't know if it's any slot or if it's only certain ones. And this is something interesting too. So this is a 2-hander, right? Oh no, that is a 1-hander. Doesn't that look like a 2-hander? That looks like a 2-hander. Yeah, so that's a little bit more damage. Get lucky hit chance. 11% basic. 6.5 to vulnerable, which I've got quite a few triggers for vulnerable. 5.5 to crowd control. I really don't have much damage over time, so that's kind of wasted on the left. And I don't know what's considered crowd control. Does Frozen count as crowd controlled? I wish they explained that a little better. I think that's actually... Plus it's got the open socket, and I've got a bunch of gems now. At this point, I've been just randomly selling versus, like, breaking down, just because I don't think I'm going to get deep enough in to really do much crafting. I might just hold on to that in case I want the max damage versus the stats. On that crit chance, if I build a character more based around that. Yeah, so this is a 2-hander, which has 259 item power, 325 attack power, to 390. Like, I feel like the 2-handers, I know this is a magical, but I had a 2-hander that was pretty awesome. And using a main and an offhand was just flat out better. Like, it does seem like they maybe need to scale the 2-handers a little bit, which has always been a problem in this series, I find. Like in Diablo 2, even when they buffed some of the 2-handers for sorceresses, they never did adequate damage. Okay, what should I put in that one? Overpower. I'm not 100% sure what overpower. Let's see, I think it tells you here. When you cast a skill, is a chance to do overpower. Overpower deals bonus damage based on the sum of your current life and fortify. The bonus damage dealt scales with the skills that overpower. Damage over time, passive abilities, and channeled skills cannot overpower. I wonder if Hydra can overpower. Because if it doesn't, it's kind of useless. And 6% critical strike to... Oh, damage. I thought that was percent. Yeah, that's... The 13% more damage on basic skills, which is like Thrust Bolt. That's not too bad. Could almost make the next highest one. I don't have any ultimates yet. And again, crowd-controlled enemies. What? Okay. Bonus damage. Increased damage dealt to crowd control. This includes slow, immobilize, stun, knockback, taunt, fear, tether, daze, chill, or freeze. Okay. So this would give me 6% critical strike damage to most enemies. But again, it's just damage. I don't have a high enough crit chance to really make it worthwhile, I think. I guess we'll go with the overpower. See how that works out. Do I have any other open sockets? I'm gonna go and just look at upgrading some items real quick. Yeah, they just unlocked the jeweler who does upgrading gems, which this interface is kind of crap. Unsocket things. You can add a socket, which I don't have the required stuff you need. Oh, I did. I got one of them. I didn't even realize I got one. So I could put a socket in certain pieces of gear here for gold, and this one item, which I mean, I probably should, just because I'm probably not going to play this character. You know, it's going to get wiped. And then you can also upgrade jewelry here. So a little bit more fire damage, a little bit more cold damage. How much gold do I have? What I found interesting was the cost was the same for the rare and the legendary for this. Didn't seem worth it for this though, because it doesn't work on the +1 ranked all conjuration. I'm gonna make sure if I can upgrade anything else. Oh, this is the codex, so I could, like, if I wanted to take this. You know, it's... Yeah, extract. So I could destroy this item, take this power, and then I could put it on any one-hand weapon, two-hand weapon, amulets. Oh, and it's actually... The power's increased on an amulet. But if you add 50% to 1... I feel like... Would it do anything more? But if you put it on a two-hander, would I get 3 Hydras? I kind of want to try that. Like, if I went and got that two-hander... I wanted to do that. I have all the resources, right? You kind of want to try that out. And with the two-hander, would I then, because it's 100% power, would I get 2 additional Hydras? That would be really cool. Okay, I'm going to try it. I'm going to extract this, and then I'm going to imprint it on this two-hander. And I've got the material for it, right? I need 12 to do that. Cost 20,000. Extracting it costs 7,000. So I've got enough. Please don't. Please don't screw anything up. I have an aspect. Please. No! The only thing it changed was the reduced duration from 22 to 11, which is bullshit because when I was on this tab, the number that corresponded, like down here, you see where it says power increased by 100%, and it had like golden letters, kind of. The golden part up top was the number of hydras, not the time, but I guess what it's actually saying is that blue one up top is what it's going to. That sucks. Okay. Well, that kind of wastes it. Wasted that legendary. Oops. Gotta put it in the right spot. So do I still want to put it here? Oh, it costs less when I use an aspect. That's cool. If I want to put it on two-hander still, or would it be better to put it on my one-hander, which actually does more damage? Though the extra overpower on this thing, I didn't realize, or the extra vulnerable on this thing, increases,
Father bless.
I didn't realize this was how it works. But, where's my vulnerable? Vulnerable damage. I thought it would be just a percentage increase, so like 15% on 20% was my thought, but no, it actually changes your vulnerable damage bonus from 20 to 35%. So that's pretty cool. That's a 15% damage bonus. And I have vulnerable, like things that cause vulnerable all over the place. Like, this is a 25% chance to make enemies vulnerable on every Frozen Orb I cast. And then my Frost Nova has 100%. Yeah, so Frost Nova always makes enemies vulnerable. So that's 35% damage to anything I Frost Nova'd or anything I use my Frozen Orb on. That's not bad. And actually, it'll make my Hydras last longer at least, so I guess we'll do it. And then I can always, I think, break this down again. So, like, if I wanted to... Oh, you can't extract it a second time. Hmm. Huh. Okay. Well. That's a thought. I wish it was more explicit about that stuff. I think that could be way clearer. I wonder if it would have been cheaper to upgrade before I turned it into a legendary. Like, it didn't look closely. Core is my, like, my frozen orb. These are core, so that gives my frozen orb 12% damage, which is pretty nice. Yeah, I'm not going to keep doing it, though, because that's a lot of gold now. Anything else I should... I need better pants. Alright, let's keep moving. Real quick.
Greetings.
I think I'm putting way too much thought into some of these items for, like, the level I'm at. Come on.
Yet I still feel him. I sent my sweet boy away for a sin of my own making. Heavens above. I'm coming, Korik.
And we're gonna go up here. Actually, let's just travel. I guess part of that was I was learning how the extraction and everything worked, which... a little messier than I had anticipated. And you know what? I don't have any gloves now. My hands are naked. But I should find some pretty quick, I would guess. Let's just see if there's anything down here. Oh, wait, over here, I mean. They should have like a full list, since it doesn't restock but every like 10 minutes. Actually, easier to go this way, isn't it? I wish you could put the map, like Diablo 2 style, like in the background, where you could play while the map is like overlaid on your screen. My frozen orb should be dealing a fair bit more damage with this weapon. And I think it's going to make me redo part of this.
There's a shrine west of here, I hope.
Yeah. So I did most of this already. So if you watched the end of, I think it was the third video, I got disconnected like halfway through this quest. I was having some, I think I was having some memory issues. Look at that. It says I'm using 10,125 megabytes of RAM, video RAM. I only have 10 gigs of video RAM. That's crazy. Something doesn't seem right there, because that's impossible, right? There's so many side quests. I've got to focus on the main, or else I'm not going to see everything.
Hark, creature of darkness, for you have wandered beyond the reach of the light. Lift your sins, breathe deep the cold air. The path to redemption lies before you, if you have the faith.
Oh, I've got to take the
walk
thing
it.
over here. That's right. You know what I didn't think about? I wonder if my Hydras benefit from the vulnerability. I'm really not sure. Some of that I feel like there's not enough clarity on in the interface, where you really have to like read a guide, like, okay, what impacts what? It's like a shield, my attacks just wouldn't go through it.
Out of mana.
Just realized I am full on murmuring obols. I gotta go gamble. Can't even pick them up. And I don't think if I teleport, I'm gonna do this real quick. Just so I can pick up my obol. Hopefully they don't disappear. Obols, I like that word. Am I saying that right? Alright. Alright, I did a little bit of gambling, and check this out. I got almost all legendaries now. Pretty cool.
Feel the sting of your wounds.
Yeah, we are
Let the ice
continuing
into
this
your
mission.
bones. Welcome your pain, for the agony of the flesh is the first cleansing of the soul. Make your faith stronger than any hurt.
I feel gypped. I should have a third Hydra. Actually, I need to put another ability on my bar. Guess I'll throw Ice Blades back on there. Not horrible. It's just, it feels like a crappier Hydra.
Look around at the mountains towering over you. how small you are. Embrace humility. Accept your
That teleport
place
has great
in
range.
worship to the Father, for he has shown
I like how
us
those
the way.
fill up your healing potion.
That is not possible.
Sometimes I can cross like barriers like that, and sometimes I cannot. I don't always know why. This is where I crashed last night. Like I hit that, and it's basically where it ended.
I'm low on precious metal.
Really want to hit 25
The end nears, pilgrim.
tonight.
Look into yourself. Find your faith. Feel how it fills the void within you. Remember, you are nothing without faith.
Get over there.
Hold fast to the light. And remember,
It feels awesome. There's Vigo the
So
Carpathian.
I like playing cards. Doesn't make me a sinner. With that bribe, good soldiers died. Is that the kind of man I am? I just... Damn it. You made it.
You heard from Prava.
I will. Soon. Not everyone comes back, you know.
I still think Inarius might be secretly a bad guy. Not so secretly, I don't know. He always seemed like an asshole. A lot of the angels seem like assholes, actually.
Kneel before him, and remember, you are small. Wonderfully small.
I thought that was like the quest is out there. Like, what? This be the end of the beta? Like, I feel like I've explored. So Narius broke out of hell, right? That's like the plot here. What are the other angels doing? Yeah, looked like a good dude, right?
This is how you choose to approach me.
Forgive this intrusion, but
Tell me what you need.
I must traverse the Black Lake, and that cannot be done without your blessing.
If I've learned anything during my time here, it is that what we're looking for and what we need are rarely the same thing. I once thought I could find an end to this war, but there has been no resolution, only more pain. Everything I've done has pulled me further from home, from the place I need to be. This world we made was born from the impossible, and yet, like its creators, it rots from the inside.
I don't... Lilith has entered the ancient city. With your blessing, I can pursue her.
Your kind are weak, and this world has been wasted on the crusades of the unworthy.
I can stop her.
This audience is concluded.
traveler.
Where is Tyrael when you need him? Like, didn't he... I'm trying to think in Reaper of Souls. Didn't he become an angel again? Was that the plot? If I can talk to her again. I just... yeah. Oh, I thought that was a waypoint for a minute. I didn't want to miss out. Feels like there should be one. Maybe there's one over here. Like, doesn't it seem like there should be a waypoint over here? Like, for how far it is? Sometimes you gotta run so much. I know you get a horse later. Just a quest over here.
An outsider. I could use your... He said his party of knights found a secret to life eternal. He confessed they shelter now in a place he called...
I'll get back to that. Really just trying to finish the main story here. To pick up all the missions I can along the way.
Blessed are those who bask in the light. Let our faith be our armor against the encroaching darkness. Ah, you've returned. Come, let us speak inside, out of the cold.
It's booked. Primaries won't help us.
Yet you stand before me unscathed. I know his ways. That is in the name of the light. I bless you. Our victory is...
Okay. Crossing over. So back to Rathma's lair or whatever. Oops. Didn't mean to. Want to click that.
You can take what's left.
Oh, you get the gems back when you do that. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Yeah, it's just sometimes hard to tell if you're going the right way or not. The damage against vulnerable is pretty nice now. I think it's like plus 60.
That is not possible.
More strangers in the camp.
I'll explain on the way.
Alright, bro. Let's do this.
I lack the needed mana.
Oh yeah. At least this time you don't have to go all the way around. You just can go over here, it looks like. Right? Or over here. Ah, screw that guy.
Rothma's description of the ritual was difficult to understand, and the notes weren't much better. I think I know how to talk with my mother again.
So this is a level 21 to 23 area. It's interesting. It's a range, not just like equal to your level.
The breeze coming from the Black Lake. Do you feel it? Let's hurry. Mother, please, can you hear me?
My little magpie, it's you.
I can save you from this, Mother. I promise. I can learn how to...
Stop. I can't be saved from my own mistakes. This body is only a husk. My spirit must pass on. And you must let me go.
Mother, no. I need you.
You need to move on, magpie, without me. But I can help you one last time before I go. You have the divine blessing. Your blood is the necessary key.
Here we go.
Neyrelle, you were so loved.
Sorry about your mom a second time.
The way is open. But... it's not over yet. Not for you.
This place is full of Lilith.
Oops, I didn't mean to click back. I wish you could run across it. Reminds me of like Thor and what is that? The Rainbow Bridge or whatever. So do we finally find out who Rothma is? That's gnarly. Rothma was like the first Necro, right?
You are the last visitor to my sanctum. Though you come too late, just as Lilith did before you. For it was my father, Inarius, who arrived here first. It unfolded as my visions foretold. How we hurtle towards the prophecy's end.
Inarius. I knew there was more going on. Can't really tell. Restore one of your primary resource when crowd control an enemy. It's kind of hard to tell if that's triggering or like how much it's adding here.
It started in dreams. I saw shattered images of the end of Sanctuary. The scales of a great serpent carried these visions. And so I went to visit him. My and the serpent's thoughts met, and the fragmented future was mended together. I put it down in order, and the prophecy was born.
So I can finally get an ultimate. I'm only gonna have what, one more skill point? I'm at 24 now, right? So like, I was kind of thinking I could get a couple points in down to here, but I'm not gonna have enough points for that, clearly. So maybe I'll try. This one looked really cool in some of the preview videos I've seen. I may respec later, but I just kind of want to see what this looks like. Alright.
I need to destroy the tumors to go any further.
It's not a tumor. I do really like they've added this extra kind of movement ability, though I wish you could just click on it. Like, why do I need to hit space? I think just clicking on it would serve the same purpose. Because you're not really doing this like in combat, right? It's all about like... Yes, I gotta go destroy this first. Like, why do I need a separate key for it?
That is not possible.
I was gonna try to teleport up there. This place, it's pretty gross. Reminds me a little bit of Dead Space, you know, the stuff growing all over it. Maybe Half-Life Alyx with the alien, whatever, the Zen creatures. There's no enemy. Well, literally right as I said that, there's enemies, but it's kind of feeling weird just to like be destroying these things and have nothing to fight.
I'm not ready yet.
That looks really cool. I can't say it's like did a whole lot. And you can only put 1 point in it, but it does have Inferno repeatedly pulls enemies towards its center. While Inferno is active, your pyromancy skills cost no mana. So my fire skills cost nothing. But I'm not really like completely fire focused. But if I was, you know, like that would make Fireball free. That would make, you know, Hydra, which you don't need a lot of mana for that. Meteor, Firewall, which I really haven't messed with Firewall. I get that free point. Why not? Yeah, that's a Firewall. Thing is, it does 582 over 8 seconds. I guess that's a level 1, of course, so it would go up. It goes about 80 per point, so maybe 1,000 damage over 8 seconds. That's like 120 damage per second. Whereas like every time I throw out one of these, it's doing 400 damage. This doesn't seem... I don't know. Maybe you're fully spec'd into it, but plus you gotta like lure enemies into it and everything. I'll try it out for a minute though.
The prophecy became my burden. There were others that knew. Ones that couldn't understand the nature of such a thing. I knew Inarius would be driven to interfere, believing that it was about him. He saw himself as a savior, piercing hatred's heart in hell.
You say hatred's heart in hell. Like, that free frozen orb I got just did way more damage than the Firewall did because he just jumped out of it. And of course, I am like spec'd into it, so that kind of makes sense, but like even if I purposely like stand it in, it takes like a good amount of time. Maybe you fully spec into it. Like, it's not fair to... Firewall, even in Diablo 2, was so hard to like get enemies to stick in it. Case yourself in ice, becoming immune for 4 seconds. Can you move around when you're in that, or is it like you're stuck? Because that would impact like how good... Oh, I wanted to move those. Yeah. I feel like 4 should be my ultimate, so I don't accidentally click it. Just like a pool of blood. One more left. Now you can see this stuff like looks like it's rotting. Maybe I gotta go back this way. This is a cool area though. Definitely very different. Alright, now I can go this way. Demonic Memorial. You can actually, I think, see my mana building up faster when I'm chilling like a big group of enemies.
So I left the gates to heaven. It was only a matter of time before the Lords would discover what I'd done and come demanding the key.
Ow. It's kind of clever how it all looped back around. You don't have to, like, run the whole way.
You refuse to give me the key. You stand in the way of the Savior. The holy blood in your veins should be boiling.
Nothing you do will change the future I saw.
I create my own destiny. And this prophecy of yours is just a small part of it. It is wider, beyond comprehension of ungrateful spawns like yourself.
I do feel like they're setting up Anarius to be the big baddie here.
Understand is once I am victorious in hell, the high heavens will welcome me home, where I belong.
I wish it would be true, Father.
Curse this place. I'm being followed.
Oh, there's a look button. That's a first. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be seeing there. That's just like, it's a cool vantage point, so they made like a look button. Dang it. Yeah, that's a problem. I've been using Forest Teleport forever. And now... maybe I would be better off actually making 3 my damage, putting that there. Because honestly, the Ice Blades are not doing much.
Beyond this chamber, there's nothing but death and mourning. How fitting it shall be your grave.
Wait, is that helping me? Is that guy on my side? I think he is. But that's a new mechanic. Ah, I wasted that because he put his stupid shield up.
I need time.
Oh, 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 oh. That does a lot of damage. I like Hydra because I can just focusing on avoiding getting hit. Shiny pants. Is that the same ones I have? Adventurer's Pants of Protection. Though it's got more life. It's got intelligence. I don't care about the firewall. And that intelligence alone should help my damage more. Even though the barrier is lower. Got less armor. Gives me a little bit more attack power, not a lot. What does intelligence do? Skill damage and resistance to all elements. It also gives me more HP. I guess that's better. Who the hell is this? Wait, am I gonna get in that armor? No.
Vigo, who did this? I have done all that was asked. The pain is gone now. This was a just punishment. A stronger man would have refused Venard's bribe. Nerel. Nerel, is she safe?
Yes, she is safe.
Our meeting is no coincidence. I came here to help. Will you give this to her for me? I should never have taken it.
That's pretty gnarly.
So dark.
What were those things called? Iron Maidens?
I was too late.
No, not too late. The light has come to carry you home. Do you not see it, friend?
Yes. Yes. I see it now. They have come.
That was pretty cool. Ooh.
You didn't need that armor to prove your worth, friend.
Is that Nira's amulet? Or no, because he handed it to me already. Is that... I almost have all legendaries with that. Let's see. 1 to all conjuration. Cool. Movement speed. Cool. More resistance to all. The 2% fire damage over time, I don't think... Does it do anything for me? Show that on here. Yeah, I think that's what this is. Increases your burning damage. This includes fire damage over time, but not direct fire damage. So it only is like dot kind of damage, which, eh. When hit while not healthy, a magical bubble will summon around you for 7.5 seconds. While standing in the bubble, players are immune. Oh, it's Vigo's thing. It can only occur once every 90 seconds. I gotta use it. That's cool. I don't care. If it's... I think this gives me more damage, but... Yeah. I need one... I need a helm, and I've got all legendaries.
Give me the key to hell. I will not ask again.
You
So
don't need to. I saw a vision of the key lifted from my corpse, under the watchful eyes of the great serpent in my sanctum. If you are chosen as you say, it will come to pass.
Was Rathma still alive? Like, I thought in the lore he was dead. Am I mistaken on that?
Where is she?
I'm not completely sure. But I think this might be... I feel like this is maybe the end of the Act 1.
Rathma.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the serpent he was talking about. Oh, that... Yeah, that's Rathma. Rathma's fate. Is Lilith gonna be pissed?
don't know if you would have chosen to stand beside me in this new world, Rathma. But I would have saved your place, just the same. And now, all that you might have been has been stolen from me. Stolen. This key unlocks more than the doors of hell. It unlocks our path to the future. A future made possible because of the price you paid. Your sacrifice will not have been in vain.
He honestly seems more caring than Inari is. Like, it definitely is making me think that they're going to, like, either make you choose, or maybe Inarius ends up being the big baddie, right? Or are these other necromancers or other skeletons he's raised? I was kind of hoping to fight Rathma. That would have been cool. We gotta go all the way up to Roderick Vault. I can't teleport back. Is that real? Okay. See a Vigo. I was wrong about Vigo. Early on, I thought he was gonna end up betraying us or something. Vigo? He's my boy. Vigo's pretty awesome. Yeah, we're walking. We're still walking. Every time I think I'm at the end of the act, there's like more. This has got to be a huge game in the end, because I probably played 10 hours and I'm still not done with Act 1. So if I'm assuming it's probably a 4 or 5 act story. So with this going to be like 40, 50 hours on your first playthrough. I'm sure subsequent will be a lot faster. But like Diablo 2, playing through like the normal difficulty, I'm gonna say it's like on your first playthrough 10 hours, 15 hours, and then like you can speed run it in, you know, I've done it in I think 2.5 to 3 hours on normal difficulty. People have beat the game in an hour. I think that's the world record, is like 57 minutes. Where does she want? Oh, way over there. I should have just done that. Sorry, people. Alright. I am following the main quest marker here. That's cool.
That is not possible.
Ah, yeah. There's like invisible barriers all over the place.
Vigo wanted you to have this.
And Lilith? Was she even there? Did you meet her?
Already gone by the time I arrived.
There is more. I can see that.
Lilith took a key to hell off Rathma's body.
Naira. She came seeking the Haradrim of legend. Seeking hope. She found neither. But her part in things was far from over. In truth, we would need her more than she needed us. Didn't seem that way at the time, though. For anyone. Inarius proved to be just as unreliable as I'd feared. His self-obsession had driven him to murder his son, Rathma. And from the corpse left behind, Lilith had taken a key to hell. Where would she use it? We could only depend on ourselves to find out.
That's it. So that's the end. I thought there would be like a big... I finished Act 1. I was thinking there would be like a big final battle. Well, I'm going to end the video here. I've got the full playthrough obviously on the channel. I'm going to have a bunch of other individual videos up. Check them out. If you like what I'm doing, please do like, subscribe, drop me a comment below, and thank you once again for watching, everyone. Have a great night.